Welcome to the 50th Asian American Spotlight. Not the 50th anniversary, just the 50th one, but it's still a milestone. And with this milestone, I want to put the spotlight on CAPE, not the fabric, the Coalition of Asian Pacifics in Entertainment. Now, I should have done CAPE as the first one or the 100th one, but I didn't want to wait because they're so important. CAPE, their mission statement, what they're trying to do is basically what I'm trying to do, except they've been doing it for 25 years and they've been doing it much better. If there is any organization that you should put your support, your money, your time into, it is CAPE. They've been at it for so long. They've done so much for the industry, and part of the things that I started doing when I made a point last year to really push for Asian American representation was to attend as many CAPE events as I possibly could have. And I've been to several of them this year, and every single one has been run so well, and it just feels so much more like a community now for me, to kind of put myself in an environment with other Asian American creators, and it's kind of amazing how I feel now, as opposed to. I'll share with you guys a couple of things that I'm not very proud of, but it happened. So growing up in Canada, I grew up in a very diverse school system. My high school is represented by like 80 something countries all around the world, and we're very proud of that. But I remember specifically not being attracted to Asian girls. It was a thing, and it was a thing. I know it was a thing because you'd have slumber parties, and one of my best friends that we would stay over at, we'd talk about girls constantly, and it was like one thing. I had one friend who was like intensely attracted to Asian women, and I was on the opposite side of the spectrum. They looked like aliens to me, and part of that reason was I just that wasn't the media I consumed. That was never the idea of sexy, and I think the whole exotic thing came in after. And it wasn't until like high school that I started, seeing Asian women as sexy. And if that's my view on Asian women, you can surmise what my thoughts on Asian men were. Like I never thought of myself as attractive. That wasn't even close to the realm of possibility for me. And I've come along. It's been over 10 years, and you start to see the world with different perspectives, especially living in China. For me, that was a huge thing. But last year, I still had thoughts of, I'm looking at all these other successful Asian Americans out here, and I'm thinking, man, I want to be like, there's no reason why I can't do that, or why I couldn't be that person. And then I thought, no, it is such a backwards way of thinking, where I see everyone as competition. That shouldn't be. I want to support everyone, because anyone that makes it kind of opens the door for the rest of us. And that's when I started switching my mindset, where I'm like, I have to push those thoughts out of my head. I have to start seeing everyone as an ally. I have to start supporting the community that I want to be involved in, and to encourage everyone as much as I want to encourage myself. And so this is, I'm ashamed to say this, but this was only at the beginning of last year. But I started doing it. I started going to all the CAPE events. I started helping out any Asian American creator that I possibly could. And it's just changed. I don't know. It's made me a happier person, for one. It's given me a deeper purpose than the one that I had originally intended, which was, I gotta say, a lot more selfish. And I just want to see other Asian Americans succeed, and when I succeed, I want to do it so that I can open the doors for other people. I've said it before, but now I can actually mean it, and there's something really nice about that. So CAPE has two wonderful programs that I'm aware of. Honestly, they do so much, and there's only a handful of people that actually do all the doing. But they have two programs. One's a writers program, which is fostering writers to, write stories. Like, we can't expect anyone else from any other cultures to share our stories because they don't know them. And so fostering writers is a great strategy for them to get Asian American stories into the spotlight, into the limelight. The second program is the executive program, where they're trying to train junior executives to get to that next level. And these are the decision makers. These are the people that greenlight things. These are the people that pull in finance. I'm not in that program. Honestly, I don't know what they're doing. That's just my thoughts on it. But through those two programs, I think it's a great strategy to do it. Every time I go to these events, it's incredible, like, the type of people that show up, and I always forget, like, there's so many of us doing so well. The last event I went to, Daniel Day Kim was a surprise guest on a panel. He's an executive producer on The Good Doctor, which is a great show that I'll probably talk about at some point. But he's an executive producer. He's not even acting on it. Coming from Hawaii Five-0 as an actor to now being the executive producer, he's the big boss on the show. This is the first one that his production company has sold. I doubt it'll be the last, but just to see how everyone's doing so well is a nice feeling, and Cape is a huge part of that. So thank you, Cape. They're probably watching this because they're awesome. So thank you guys so much for your work. I'm definitely going to show up at the next event. If you are an Asian American entertainer, or creator, or an ally, or if you're interested in supporting this mission statement of raising up, the public eye of Asian Americans everywhere, check out Cape. I'm gonna post a link to their site where there's info to get involved. I'll post their social media handles. This is a great organization. They've been doing this for almost as long as I've been alive, which is a long time. I'm old. And I don't know, of all the organizations that I've seen, this is definitely the one that has been consistent and relentless in their pursuits for what they want to do. And it aligns with everyone. They want to help everyone. It's inclusive, and I think my career would be very different without them. So, CAPE, the Coalition for Asian Pacifics and Entertainment. That is the Asian American Spotlight this week. Till next week.